on the front page, I was taking a look at um, the Prime Minister's visit, the state visit to the United States, that is being spoken about a lot. There are several advertisements. I don't think it's on the Indian Express, must be on one of the other newspapers. He's going to go there. There are so many deals that are on the line, Anthony Blinken has come out and welcomed his particular visit. Galtier is welcoming the Prime Minister to the United States. So many deals that are going to be signed. What are you picking up?
Well,
the jet technology.
Well,
how is that going to be a game changer? The drone deal, $3 billion drone deal.
Exactly. So now, this thing is: are we moving away from Russia and moving more into the United States' ambit? And if we are moving towards the United States, then what is the issues that we are going to handle? Because we have a very bitter experience with the United States when we carried out, especially during the A.B. Vajpayee era, when in the Vajpayee era, when we conducted the nuclear weapons test and the US went on a sanctions spree, in fact denying even critical technologies, especially what they considered as dual-use technology or technology that can be used for nuclear weaponization as well. So anyway, that was in the past, and of course a lot of water has flown under the bridge. But now, when we are moving, the US seems to be keen in sharing technology with India on two fronts, because India's defense industry has always worked, or India's political clout has always worked on transfer of technology. So when it comes to some of India's critical components, the US has also recognized that India has always been looking for a jet engine. Most of even our Tejas, the engine that we have is from the US. It's a GE 404, and now they're planning to make it a GE 414 engine. And it is a very critical, aspect of it. We are looking at a 90 kiloton KN engine right now, and probably make it to 110 KN engine. So right now the issue has always been which country is ready to transfer. We've been in talks with France, so the France also has promised about a joint development for these jet engines, and now the US is ready to go ahead and share some critical aspects about the jet engine. But my question is, would it be something like how Russia shares? Because when it comes to Russia is very open about the technology that they share with us, especially critical technology that they share with us. They have been building our defense capacity. We have also been relying on them for building our defense capacities. The kind of relationship that we have with Russia is on the defense scale is totally different. I mean, it's never seen anywhere across the world, and the closest that the kind of defense relationship that we have with Russia is the closest that we have with Israel, where again there is transfer of technology, joint development of technology. So I think the US probably is trying to break out of that mold. The last time they had something of this sort, like someone with whom they sold critical technologies and gave critical technologies on this large scale, was with the Shah of Iran in the 1970s. Even before the US had the latest weapons, the Shah of Iran had US weapons with him. So are we going to look forward to something more than that, where we go for joint development in our critical capacities?
There is.
So if that is the thing, that means slowly the US might replace Russia when it comes to critical armament. And of course, there is a huge fight for India's defense pie. You have the top contenders being the US, Israel, as well as France and Russia. Russia is still dominating our market because most of our weapons are from them. But the recent wars with Ukraine has resulted in Russia, in fact, having a problem in
taking
giving
a
supply
global
parts.
reputation hit of sorts.
Yeah, but also when it comes to supply of spare parts, there is a huge issue.
To be honest, India has its own troubles of budget constraints as well, and that's where Russia plays a crucial part for us. But the Modi-Biden bonhomie, and let's just show this to the viewers. This is a copy of the Times of India, which today on the second page says Modi-Biden bonhomie boosts India-US strategic proximity, with a picture of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with United States President Joe Biden. Says United States President extending a touch of personal warmth for the PM events, and that is true. I've on the lighter note have spoken about And in my friend circle imitated the French shakes of the Prime Minister as well, and the passion with which he goes for those handshakes. It's not formal anymore. It's like, two lost friends from childhood that are meeting again. Even in Australia, you remember how he was standing with the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, in front of the Opera House, in front of all those optics. It felt like they were really, really friends and not diplomatic counterparts.
Well, that is something that we have all seen how when it comes to Prime Minister being in the United States, he has had a lot of, especially not in the United States, especially with the Western Hemisphere as well as with the Western world, he has made that extra effort to have a one-on-one relationship with with his counterparts there, and he tries to not only have a diplomatic relationship but also a personal ties with the families as well as with the leaders of these nations, and probably he leverages it also when it's time on when it's time as well. He's been trying to build a global clout when it comes to him being at the center of focus as well. When it's about probably he's the only person who had the ability to tell Putin that this is not the time, this is not the era of war. And that's because of the kind of relationship that India has with Russia, and also he enjoys with Putin as well. So the Prime Minister has developed over the 9 years the kind of relationship with people that sometimes there are very hard facts to be told, and he can tell it on their face without blinking as well. But he uses it very rarely. He uses that opportunities very rarely to make those statements. But it is a part of the larger diplomatic effort. And when it comes to the US, I think the Prime Minister might look at US and also see. US is a huge trading partner for us. US is looking to diversify its supply base. Sooner or later, we are going to find that US could also become a big defense partner for us as well.
All right.
It's already slowly building up to that.
What's going to come, from that state visit when the Prime Minister is going to be visiting the United States between the 21st and the 25th of June. And on his way back, he's also going to have some time to stop by in Egypt for an official visit to Egypt as well. And there you have it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Look at that picture. Just showcase it to the viewers. This right here. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the US President Joe Biden. Says Indo-American Chamber of Commerce welcomes Eric Garcetti as US Ambassador to India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit to the United States.